Hello, hello. Welcome to my Infinitetrack Machina deck, Earth Machine, Dozer control. I'm not quite sure what people like to call it. I like Earth Machine. I think it's kind of just a general term that kind of sums up the deck, right? I played this deck at my locals and I came first place. It's quite a small locals, although I wasn't exactly playing against casual decks. There were a couple of competitive decks. It was 3 rounds. I went 3-0. Uh, and I think the latest changes I made to this deck made me confident enough to want to post this deck profile. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So the first card that we play is 3 copies of Infinitetrack Harvester. And what Harvester does is, when it's normal summoned, it can add any Infinitetrack monster from deck to hand. And it also has a second effect where it can target another Earth machine. Oh, sorry, it's just one other machine monster you control, and it can both monsters become the combined level. So if you use it with a level 5, they both become 7. If you use it with a level 7, they both become level 9, which is really good for making rank 9 players. And you can also use this with a level 10 monster and hard make Zeus, which actually won me one of my games today when I couldn't out an opponent's board. But yeah, like the bread and butter. The aim of this deck is to get to a card I'll get onto soon, but this is one of the ways. But yeah. The next 3 of Infinitetrack that we play is Brutal Dozer. This is why it's called Dozer Control for Brutal Dozer. What this card lets you do is, so all the level 5 Infinitetrack monsters, the main deck ones, let you tribute an Earth Machine to special summon them. Uh, and this one, when he is summoned, he summons another one from the deck, and he kind of gets the whole combo rolling. You play like a bunch of starter cards just specifically to get this guy, and you want to loop him, and realistically you want to use him every single turn, as he's just ridiculously good. You can use him for Link players, you use him for XE players, yeah. For the 2 of, we play 2 copies of Trencher. Trencher, same summon condition as Dozer, and this guy can banish himself from the graveyard to special summon another main deck Infinitetrack monster from the grave. You play him 2 because he's not bad if you open multiple of them, and you probably will go through multiple. You probably even go through more than 2 because you do recycle this card back from the banished. But yeah, this is really good. 500 attack, which comes up in like the one of the monsters I'll bring up soon. Yeah. And for the one-offs, we play Infinitetrack Drill. Similar to Harvester, it can change the level, but this is level 4, so you can use it for different players. And also, again, it comes up kind of with a combo in for turn 3, but also when he's normal or special summoned, he can summon another Earth Machine from your hand, which is really good. And finally, we play Tunneler. This one's just Pot of Avarice. It's Pot of Avarice, but doesn't lose to DD Crow or anything like that. As long as it shuffles at least 1 card back, you draw the 2, which is really good. You normally shuffle them back like 5 Link monsters or 4 Link monsters in a main deck monster. But yeah. And that's it for the Infinitetrack. So it's quite a small package, but it is still the biggest engine in the deck. It gets it gets the game going. It keeps you grind game. It's really good. Then another starter is Machina or Machina, or I don't even know what the other one people call it, but Metal Cruncher. Metal Cruncher is really, really good. So if you don't have any face-up cards, you can normal summon him without tributing, but his attack becomes 1800. And when he is summoned, whether that's normal or special, you reveal 3 Earth Machines, which can be any Earth Machines. Doesn't have to be a Machina card. And you can your opponent randomly add ones, but they don't have to be the same name. So if you don't open any Brutal Dozer, you can use this to add 3 copies of Brutal Dozer, and that guarantees you comboing off. Yeah. And then for the other 2 Machinas, we play 1 Citadel, 1 Fortress. Citadel, it's a board wipe that brings itself back if another one's destroyed. Because most decks, you can activate this to target itself, and most decks you can activate. They won't have a negate by the time they have a big monster out. Or if they do, it's very telegraphed if they're making like the Herald of Arclight. And then this card, honestly, MVP of this tournament. I just looped him so many times. These just go back and forth. You crash with this while this is in your graveyard. You chain link 1 to pop a card, chain link 2 bring this guy out. So now you've got a big, so you've got an even bigger boss monster out, and then you just keep looping them back and forth. And also this can be used with Harvester to make rank 9 monsters. Because this card also has a very weird interaction, and it's kind of a Konami says so interaction of it can discard itself to summon itself from the hand. So so you can send it to the graveyard along with any other machine monster and bring them back. And that's it for the Machinas. Then for the train package, it's 2 copies of Derricrane. There. Some people are just playing one. I find the second one to be really, really good. It just helps you OTK. If you see this in hand, you can also, if you see any of the trains in hand, you can just search the other one and make a massive unaffected monster. And then we have the 1 copy of Bullet Train. If you only control Earth machines, special summon from your hand. If you attack with him, you have to send 2 other cards you control to the graveyard. But that, unless you're going for game and this is what you're swinging for game with, it doesn't really matter. You never have comes up. What's really important in this deck, and it's the reason we only really play one, is you can, if he's sent to the graveyard at the end of the turn, you can add any Earth machine back, and it literally, you can add Brutal Dozer, you can add Harvester, you could even, if you've got no monsters on your field, add back a Metal Cruncher for next turn, and it just keeps recycling your resources, which is the whole point of this deck. It just outgrinds everything. It even outgrinds Eldritch, which is saying a lot. And then the final monster is the only brick in the deck, which is Ancient Gear Box. When it's added from, you want it to be in the deck so you can add it, but you can't easily play around it. If it's added from deck or graveyard to your hand, you can add any Earth machine with 500 attack or defense from deck to hand. So in this deck it is a Tunneler, an Anchor Drill, and a Trencher, which is really good. But yeah, other than that, he's okay. He can also work with Anchor Drill to level modulate, make level 8 and go to Dingasu, which then Dingasu is just a really, really good card. And then finally for hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Lancia, just generally a good card, and my locals plays a lot of banishing, so it really helps. Onto the spells. I play slightly more than most people do. Most people just play the 6 spells, but it's 3 Machina redeployment. If you don't ash this, I don't know what you're doing. If your opponent lets this resolve, you can play through multiple hand traps very, very easily. Discard a card. If it's not, discard a card and add 2 Machina monsters with different names, and if the card you've discarded is another Machina card, you can also choose to add two Machina cards instead, so not just monsters, which could search you can't search the one of itself, but you can search the trap, which is really nice. That just gives you pure advantage. Then there's Heavy Forward. This is Tenki. When it's activated, searches for any Infinitetrack monster, which is normally whatever you're missing. So if you're missing a Dozer, grab a Dozer. If you're missing a Harvester, grab a Harvester. The only confliction with this deck is with Machina Metal Cruncher, because if you have it's continuous, so it stays up on the field, so you kind of have to use it afterwards. But yeah, but it is good Ash bait if you already have the cards you need in hand. It also has a second effect where it can either change the battle position of an Earth Machine XZ just a XZ monster, Machine XZ monster, or it can attach itself as material, which is really good for Dingasu and Zeus. But also all your Infinitetrack XZ monsters helps load them up. And then we play Call By and Edge of Schedule. I might bump this up, but at the moment I just like the one. It never came up today. However, even if I drew it, there wasn't really a situation. There was maybe one situation where it came up. But yeah, for those who don't know what it does, if your opponent has more monsters, special summon a level 4 lore and a level 5 or higher Earth Machine from your deck. They're in defense and their effects are negated, and you can only attack with machines. So like it literally searches any 2 monsters in your deck basically. And then if it's destroyed while set, which this deck can do quite easily, or if it's sent to the graveyard while set, it's basically a rota for a train or citadel if you really need citadel. Then for the traps, which I play quite a heavy traps, this is what put me over 40 because it's a 45 list. Play 3 overdrive. This is necessary. Don't play any less than that. A lot of people have put 2 in. Two just feels awful. Uh, when it's flipped, like when it's activated, target a machine you control, special summon a Machina from your deck with a different name, then destroy the target. However, the target it summons first, then destroys. So you could even target like Dingisu and then use its effect to protect. So this gets you if you need another Metal Cruncher. This normally summons out Citadel, or if Citadel's in the graveyard, it summons out whichever other one you need. And then it also has a graveyard effect to target 3 Earth machines that are either banished or in your graveyard, and that are either in your graveyard or banished, and shuffle them into the deck and then draw 1 card. So it's similar to Tunneler. This is really good. So an interaction I found out is if you only target banished cards, even though it says banished or grave, if the because it targets, it's not trying to shuffle from the graveyard, so you cannot go spell this. A lot of people have tried, but I found out that you can't, which is really good. And then, because traps are good, we want to see as many traps as we can, so these are just extra copies of them. It's Trap Trick, it's an amazing card. The fact that it comes in, the fact that it came in in the structure that the Machinas came from is ridiculous. But I am tempted to rarity boost it. Then the targets that we play, Trenchel, just ruins anything. You can manually activate this using overdrive and other stuff. So you don't have to wait for your opponent to do something. Dynamiscus, arguably the second best trap in the game right now, the best being Ice Dragon's Prison, but that card is very, very much money that I do not have. So, we play this, it's still good. Even if I had Ice Dragon's Prison, I wouldn't cut this. I honestly would probably bump up the card count to 42. Or maybe cut out the Call by the Grave and the Urgent Schedule. And then the final card we play, 2 EMR, this is very recent. These literally came yesterday, and these are game changing, like absolutely game changing. So, what you can do is so it tributes a machine monster, and for every 1,000 attack of its original attack, it targets and destroys 1 card. So if you tribute Citadel, that allows you to target 3, but it doesn't have to be your opponent's cards, it can be your own as well. So I normally target 2 of my opponents. If I don't need to, I don't. I just target 3 of my opponent's cards. But you tribute that, destroy 1 of my own Earth machines, and then on resolution, Citadel comes back. So you've essentially it's the equivalent of tributing a 1,000 attack monster to pop 3 cards. So this card's just amazing. Like the deck just is so consistent. 1 card combos. Like you literally open. I believe the starter cards are Metal Cruncher, Infinitetrack Harvester, and Redeployment and Heavy Forward. So if you start with, we're playing 12 starters, plus if you're going second, you've also got that 1 Urgent Schedule. But yeah, this deck I just never bricked every game I won. Every time I just had what I need, and it was just perfect. For the extra deck, 3 Goliath, essentially for turn 1, this is a vanilla. This is the equivalent of Prank Kids, Prank Kids, is it Meow Meow, their Link one. It essentially serves the same purpose, but you can summon it multiple times, and you just use it to spam links into the graveyard, so your advantage is even greater when you use the Tunneler and the Overdrive. He also does have effect when he's sent to the graveyard. He can attach himself to a XZ monster on the field, and then while it's attached, it makes it so that card can't be destroyed by battle as long as it was a machine. So that works with Dingisu, so you don't even have to waste it if they try and pop the ding. With Zeus, you can put it under Zeus. Now Zeus can't be destroyed by card effect, and a lot of decks really, really struggle to out this. Then we play One Anger Knuckle. This is like you literally it's such, people say it's such an underwhelming board, but I say it's a very surprising board. You make the Anger Knuckle. and what it does is you can can't be used as link material. You can only use one of these two effects per turn. Uh, During the main phase, either main phase, there's a quick effect to send a monster from your handoff field to the graveyard and bring back basically bring back a train or citadel, which is really good for triggering your torrential, because you'll do that, bring back bullet train, and then bullet train effect, and then in the end phase, after it's been destroyed with torrential, bullet train will get your card back, and then next turn you can use that. Its other effect, which is if it's in your grave, send any card from. This doesn't have to be a machine. It doesn't even have to be a monster. It could be a spell, a trap. I've been Nibiru'd on just this alone, so this went to the graveyard, and I just went, oh, okay, effect, and brought it back, and now I had a free free extra monster zone as well for the next turn. But this is really, really good. Some people are playing this at 2. I kind of felt like I could have used it 1 or 2 games, but overall, 1's more than enough. Then we play Ballista, which is the weird inclusion, but this is the reason we play Integrate Box. This searches box, and then box searches you for Tunneler for the combo. But it also has a second effect, which also came up quite a lot. You can target one spell you control, and target one monster your opponent controls. Your spell gets destroyed, spell or trap gets destroyed, and their monster's attack and defense becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. So it's really good for enabling OTKs that you normally wouldn't be able to get on, like, monsters that say can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. Normally they're hard to get over, because as long as they have, like, any sort of like attack, then you can't OTK. But this helps enable that, and it's really synergizes with Edge and Schedule Sender, and then that can add the train part that you're missing. And then finally we play Link Karibo, because my locals has it. I was playing a Link Spider. You can easily swap these out depending on your locals. My normal locals plays a lot of dinosaur, so this is better for the recursion. However, the locals I played at today, this probably would have been better because there was more Nibiru's. But link this for dinosaur link tokens, because this deck just needs to target machines. This can be used as soon as they give you a token. Just quick effect, tribute the token, bring this out. It doesn't even have to resolve, as long as it stays even if it stays in the grave, that's fine. But yeah, and that's for the link monsters. Quite a small package. Then for the train package, we play 1 Dora. Quick effect, negate. Quick effect, detach a card, and make any card on the field unaffected. It doesn't have to be itself. Doesn't have to be a monster. It can even be an opponent's card if, say, they're trying to activate like a fusion spell, and you're like, oh, I know they can't. You can chain it. It becomes unaffected and it can't be used as fusion material. Then a Gustav Max. It's just big cowboy, but it helps with the OTK. Detach, deal 2000. Lieb or Liebe, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Make it on top of either of these two. Detach, gain 2000 attack. I didn't realize it was permanently, which is really, really good. And he can attack equal to the number of. He gets extra attacks equal to the number of materials under him. So if he has 5 materials, which you can easily make, he can attack 6 times against monsters. But that's why he synergizes really well with the Ancient Gear Ballista. Make the monster burn for 2000, so they're on 6000. Make this guy 6k, swinging for the 6k. It's super, super good. Then I guess we'll go over the Infinitetrack ones. So we have Plastorma. He's part of the combo. You have a search. He's almost like Oviraptor, but for any Earth machine. That's probably the easiest way to describe him. Also, both the Infinitracks, if they destroy a monster by battle, you can attach it as material, and if they're in the graveyard, they can tribute any machine link monster and special summon themselves. So it synergizes really well with basically any link monster other than Link Karibo. And then the second one we play is Earth Slicer. He's basically a board wipe, 2 level 9 monsters. Same first and last effect as River Stormer. And then like with a battle and they're bringing himself back, but then he can detach any number of cards from underneath him, target and destroy that many cards on the field. If it didn't target, this would be so much better. However, this is still really good at clearing back row. I played against I think It was my first game against. No, it wasn't actually. It was my last game against Invoked Shadol. I used this and just destroyed their entire back row. Uh, then finally, just kind of the generic ones. We put an Interblathnia. This is really good. Help rips cards out the hands, banishes from grave. Oh, it is just really good, you know. Then Dingisu, it's really easy to make. It's rank 8. You can easily make a level 8 turn 2 as part of the combo. Well, turn 3. And then something spicy I like to play is a pain gainer. So, if you open heavy forward, on turn 3 you make Dingisu, use its effect to attach instead of send, then use the effect of heavy forward to attach to Dingisu, overlay it in pain gainer, and then for the final card, overlay into Zeus, and now you've got a 6 material Zeus. But this, to be honest, it never actually came up today. I made Ding once and he got banished. But yeah, it does have an effect. It gains attack equal is two. So you can make them with any dart. You can only be made with Ding in this deck, so you overlay them with Ding. It gains attack and defense equal to the combined ranks of all XE monsters that you control times 200. So normally it's just on 22, but sometimes it can get higher if you're like really late game. And then he also can. I haven't actually read him properly. Every time your opponent resolves a spell or trap, deal 600 damage to them, and this doesn't activate, so that's pretty good. And then its final effect is similar to. It's basically the same as Citadel. Detach one, destroy all monsters with attack. No, it's defense less than. So that could come up potentially if you're playing against a deck that has really high attack monsters but low defense. But yeah, and then obviously the final card is Zeus. Zeus is really good. Zeus, often you can hard make this in this deck, and also it's very often that you'll use his second effect to attach, which has came up quite a lot, as it's actually gave me the ability to use his effect another time. So that's the extra deck, and then the side deck, obviously it changes from locals. In this locals, to be honest, my side deck kind of worked out quite well. Three Jizukiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, super good. The reason I play him over Gameciel, I know he's got the highest attack, but it's the fact if you open multiple, give your opponent one, give yourself one, and then as long as you have a way to get a rank 10 out, another level 10 out, yeah, you can just overlay, pop this card, OTK, and stuff like that. Or even just use it to tribute summon your Infinitetrack monsters. But yeah, I really like him. He's also my favourite as well. I used to play him in Super Heavy Samurai, which is basically this deck, but not even slightly competitive. Then Nibiru. This locals. My second match was Gorky. I did side it for them. Unfortunately, I didn't draw them. But that would have been good against them. Dark Ruler, again, against Combo. This, I did side against Gorky, but again, I didn't see it. Against Shadol Invoked, because that was... So my first match was against some weird pile. It was just all sorts. It was Eldritch, Invoked, Numero, and Shadol. Playing... I saw his deck list afterwards. It was interesting. It was quite a fun deck to play against, though. And then I was playing against Gorky, which was really good. He ended on... 2 towers and Nightmare Griffin, and if it wasn't for the fact I opened Machina Fortress, I would have lost that game, but because of that I could continue my plays with a Link 1 monster staying on the board, which allowed me to then OTK him. Then 2 Twister and Duster. I was playing 3 Cosmic and a Duster. I needed the extra room for the final card that I was playing. So, and I also decided, I took, it was Pack's advice, which he told me that he learned from, I think it was Ryan Yu. My deck banishes, and if I'm going to standby phase Twin Twister, they can easily just chain Cosmic Cyclone, sorry, they can easily just chain a Lancia, so I thought this would just be the best option. And this did come up, kind of. The Duster did against the Eldritch cards in game 1, and the Twister, I kind of just got rid of... It was going to get destroyed anyway, so I just used it to get rid of Magical Meltdown, which surprisingly did help me like a few turns later. And then finally, Solemn Judgments. Never came up, This is for siding to go first, which never happened because everyone else was also playing going first decks, and I did not really brag, but I'd never actually lost a single game playing in this locals. So this never came up. But however, testing online and testing in other locals against going second decks, this is really really good. Negates, summons. If they try to against Dino, if they try to summon Ultimate Conductor, negate it. If they try and use Pill, negate it, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for the deck. I would show you the combo, but the video is getting on and it's getting quite long. If you would like to see me do a combo video, it's a fairly simple combo. Uh, but yeah, if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe, comment how you think my deck looks, how you would change my deck. Uh, to be honest, I love this deck. The only thing I am changing is so for the locals that I want, I will keep the Nibiru's in. However, in my other locals, I plan on swapping them out for Phantasmas, but they haven't arrived yet. Uh, but yeah, comment how you would change the deck. It's currently a 45 list. I might leave a link to. In fact, I will. I'll leave a link to the deck in the description. And let me know if you net deck me. I don't mind net decking. Anyone who says it's bad is just an idiot. Just ignore them. But yeah, let me know how successful you are with it. If you have a version that you think's better, let me know. I know some people think pure going second trains is better, but this is what I prefer. But yeah, bye.